And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Bottom of the Ninth. This is a game about baseball. Now, I like this sport of baseball. I think it's the closest sport to a board game that there is. Baseball can have some it can have some boring moments. I won't argue that, but it can have some very exciting moments, and nothing is more exciting than when the game is tied and you're in the bottom of the ninth, which is what this game is called. This game has a very strong baseball feel to it. It's basically just half of an inning that you're playing as the pitcher tries to outthink the batter, who tries to outthink the pitcher. It's a two-player game. Let's see how it plays. There's a lot of different pieces that are involved in the game, but most of it's going to revolve around players. These players look just like actual baseball cards. You can see even the back has that baseball card look. This tells you their stats, and there are many different baseball players in the game from different teams, and they have different positions. One player is going to play the pitcher, and they're going to take two pitchers. One is their one pitcher, and the other one's their relief pitcher. The batter is going to pick 6 different players for their batting lineup. Each one is going to be a different position. So shortstop, outfield, third base, utility, second base. It doesn't really matter which ones you pick as long as they're different positions, and some, like outfield, can count for any position or utility. And each of these also has different stats on the back of the card. Now, as this game is called Bottom of the Ninth, it's only the bottom of the ninth inning. Each player is going to keep track of the batter's going to keep track of the balls and strikes. And like I said, this game has a very strong baseball flavor that the game comes with. This, it looks like one of those nasty sticks of gum, almost to the point where I stuck it in my mouth, but it actually just keeps track of the balls and strikes. If you want more players, you can buy packs of players that have all sorts of different people that you can add to the game, including this slacker. In fact, there's a pack that has the different characters from the Sentinels of the Multiverse team that you can use if you want to play with that kind of vibe in your game. There's also special cards like this one here, a team trainer. Each player can take one of these cards that will give you a special ability for your team. So the pitcher is going to pick their pitchers. So let's say they're using Southpaw Straw and Leslie Liu as their two pitchers. The batter is going to pick theirs and make their lineup. So we'll start with Robbie Truman, then Pete Schmidt, Kerry Rumble, Very Handstab, Ethan Roberto, and Casey Petty. Okay, so you have these. You're going to start with your first batter. Your pitcher is going to start with their pitcher, and you're going to compare these. Now, you're going to look at the pitcher. The pitcher is important to look at their card first, and they have a special pitch here, which is high and inside. So we put these two tokens here on the fatigue track, high and inside. It could also be low and inside. It could also be low and away or high and away. But of course, high and inside is a great pitch to have. So that is Leslie's special pitch. Each player is going to get 2 tokens like this that match those, high and low, inside and away. And they're going to pick their pitches. So let's say, for example, that Lou decides to throw a high and inside. The batter guessed that she would throw a low and inside pitch. So first of all, since she used high and she used inside, the fatigue for each of those goes down 1. When the fatigue reaches the bottom, she can no longer throw high and inside. But between batters, if the bases are empty, or if for each empty base, she'll be able to move these up. So you can move those up. So she pitched her high and inside, and he caught the inside part. So we look at both cards. And since the batter matched the white one, the inside, he gets to re-roll his swing. Since he matched white. Since she matched the red one, she gets +1 to -1 control. Now, if he had matched the red one, he would have got +1, -1 to swing, and she would have been able to re-roll the pitcher's die. If he had matched both of them, he would have got his special ability, or he could have re-rolled his swing. If she had matched both of them, the contact's a foul, and she would have picked one of these two. Also, since it's her specialty pitch, high and inside, she would have got her 4-seam fastball. So that's a really great pitch, and it's an extra special ability. But since the batter knows that, he might try to block it. But since she knows that he knows that, she might play something different. So whatever. So they're going to have these different things that are added to the rolls. And sometimes they also have special abilities down here, traits that they can throw into the mix. So after you've decided what the modifiers are, both players are going to roll dice. The pitcher is going to roll these 2 dice. This one's going to tell you whether they're throwing a strike, a ball, or if they're hitting the corner, which is a strike. And then they also roll a number. The batter is going to be rolling a number also. Now, they're going to roll their number after the pitcher throws. Now, if the pitcher throws a ball, then the batter is going to get a ball as long as they roll smaller than the pitcher's number or equal to the pitcher's number. If the batter rolls higher than the pitcher's number, that is a strike. They swung at the ball. If the pitcher rolls a strike, then the batter is trying to roll over it, because if they roll less than the pitcher's number for strike, then they are going to get a strike. If they roll higher than the pitcher's number, not equal to, because that's also a strike, but higher than the pitcher's control number, then there's contact. They hit the ball. If they roll the corner, there's a chance that it's going to be a strike if it's less than or greater than. A corner is the best pitch the pitcher can pitch. But if the batter rolls exactly equal to the pitcher's number, then it's contact. Now, when contact happens, both players start rolling the dice as fast as they can. They're both trying to get a 5 to 6. If the pitcher gets a 5 to 6 first, the batter's out. If the batter gets a 5 to 6 first, then they advance one base, which can move other people. The batter can also advance one base if they get 4 balls, which is a walk. If the batter gets 3 strikes, they're out. If the pitcher rolls a 5 or 6 before the batter, they're also out. However, if the batter, when they're doing contact, hitting the ball, rolls a natural 6 with no modifications, then they get to roll on a special chart, which is here in the rules, where they just roll a single die and then get a normal hit, a double, an automatic single, a double, or even a home run, which is what wins the game, because all they need is 1 run. However, when they roll that home run, even then the pitcher has a chance to roll a die, and if they roll a 6, they've caught the ball just before it goes over the fence, and it's an out. There's some other things involved in the game, but that's basically it. You're going to keep going. If the pitcher gets 3 outs, they win. If the batter gets a run, they win. The pitcher can bring in another pitcher if they so like. The batter is going to go through their batters. Like I said, there's special utility people. There's other cards that you can play that give you kind of specialty things that you can do. And you can, like play through a season and have different types of games. You can play through more than half an inning if you want. But I think the game is best played just that half inning, just that bottom of the 9th. Okay, first of all, let's talk about theming. I'm not sure you will like this game if you don't like baseball, because baseball is pretty strongly represented here. Now, the game does a good job at explaining if you get 4 balls, this happens, and this is what a foul does, and things, to the point where I was a little like, well, wait a minute, if there's a guy in first and I hit a single, that guy in first is probably going to go to third. Why does he only go to second? Because it has that good feel of baseball. It has that good feel. The pitcher standing there thinking, okay, the catcher says throw this pitch. He throws it. He has his great pitch, but the batter knows what that great pitch is, so he's going to try to swing. But even then, anything can happen, and there's the rolling of the dice and the adding of the modifiers, which sounds more complicated than it is, and it really isn't. You're like, okay, on this run, I'm going to be able to add or subtract 1 from my roll, and you're going to get to re-roll. Boom, here we go. And we do that. And if it's a ball or strike, you check the charts, and you learn pretty quickly. Ball, you want less than. Strike, you want higher than. Okay, so that's pretty easy and simple. And the special abilities, you just read them as they each come up. As the batter can pick 6 batters, I don't really see that it matters that much. They say pick different positions, but I think, again, that's just for theming purposes. Theming, again, I like the fact that the back of the thing looks like a stick of gum. I love that the cards look like baseball cards, and the artwork is really good. My only thing I don't like about the theming is that all these players involved in the game are, again, because Dice Hate Me Games loves to do this, all the people in their company or their friends or designers. And because I know most of these people, that kind of pulls me out of the theme. I don't mind. I like the fact that they have the Sentinels of the Universe multi-pack and other ones, and I don't mind that these extra players are there. I wish they would have put those there. I would have loved that they had done like characters and stuff of actual real baseball or softball players, so you can get both of the genders in there. But not really. I mean, again, if you don't know who these people are, it's not a big deal, but it kind of pulled me a little bit out of the game. I wish that they had just gone straight with that thing. But other than that, the theming here is amazing. It's really well done. And then the gameplay itself is just a big game of outguessing the other person. And then there's rolling a die, and roll the die real fast. It has that urgency, and sometimes you hit that home run, and sometimes they catch it. And I think the game feels balanced to me. The pitcher and the batter both have this back and forth. So if you like baseball, which you should, But if you like baseball, this does an accurate job at bringing the tension of that final inning to life. It does a good job at both players trying to outguess each other without becoming too heavy or complex. In short, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It brings the baseball game here to life in that final inning, and I'll tell you what, it can be very exciting in real life. It certainly is exciting in this game. Dice Tower Judgment approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
To the door! There? There.